They built a luxury resort on my private lake without asking, so I sold the whole thing for billions and evicted the HOA off my land. I used to enjoy waking up to the calm shimmer of my private lake. Ducks would glide past my boathouse, and the only noise came from the wind brushing pine needles. Peaceful, right? That ended the day I heard construction equipment revving at 6 a.m. At first, I thought it was road work, maybe a neighbor renovating, but when I walked out, jaw still stiff from sleep, I saw it. Bulldozers, excavators, surveyors, and at the center of it all, Karen, the president of the local HOA, wearing a hard hat like she was Moses parting the Red Sea. I asked, "What are you doing on my shoreline?" Her answer, "Expanding community access. The HOA approved a lakeside resort for all members." I laughed. "You mean on my land?" She didn't blink. "You should be honored. This will raise property values for the whole neighborhood." That's when it hit me. They weren't just trespassing. They were building a resort on my private lake without my consent. But here's what Karen didn't know. I wasn't just the guy with the lakeside cabin. I owned the entire lake, and when they pushed me, I pushed back harder, with contracts, lawyers, and one deal that would turn their dream resort into my billion-dollar escape plan. 3 years ago, I inherited a lake, not a pond, not a stream, an actual mapped, deeded body of water, plus a few hundred feet of buffer land after my uncle passed. The land was surrounded on 3 sides by an upscale neighborhood governed by a particularly aggressive HOA. I built a small retreat on the North Shore, cabin, dock, solar panels. No loud boats, no parties. Just me, my dog Max, and the sound of water. The HOA sent me letters within weeks of breaking ground. "Please comply with roof color palette. Your cabin windows reflect into nearby homes. Fishing from private docks must be HOA approved." I ignored all of it, because they didn't realize I wasn't part of their HOA. My land was never included. The lake? My uncle kept the deed through an old land trust. Technically, the neighborhood surrounded my property. Fast forward 2 years. I kept my peace, planted native wildflowers, hosted friends, let the neighbors walk near the waterline, no gates, no signs. I thought mutual respect would hold. Then came the signs. Future site of Lakeview Commons. Coming soon, HOA clubhouse, private beach, event center. I thought it was a joke, until trucks showed up. I stormed over and demanded to speak to whoever greenlit this. Karen met me with a smug grin. "The HOA voted last spring. You should check your mail." "I'm not in the HOA." "Well, you're surrounded by it. That lake's practically community property." That's when I realized this wasn't confusion. It was arrogance. They assumed possession through proximity. The next morning, I found stakes driven into the ground. Survey tape wrapped around my boathouse. A gravel trail beginning construction toward where the clubhouse was supposedly going. I called the sheriff. He shrugged. "If you've got papers, take it to court." I pulled the original land deed from my safe, signed, sealed, and notarized. It clearly stated I owned 100% of the waterline, the lake bed, and the 30-foot perimeter surrounding it. I sent certified letters. They ignored them. I placed no trespassing signs. They tore them down. They even posted an HOA bulletin calling me a community obstructionist. I knew then they were betting I'd back down, so I started betting bigger. Karen doubled down, claimed the HOA had eminent domain authority. She even circulated a fake community easement map showing the lake as co-owned green space. Suddenly I was getting letters from lawyers. Not my lawyers, hers. Cease and desist orders claiming I was interfering with approved projects. HOA members began showing up on my dock uninvited. I caught a group having brunch by the water, blasting music. Then came the drone. A neighbor flew it over my property and posted footage online saying, "Progress happening!" as if this was their promotional campaign. I filed police reports. Karen countered with HOA citations for dangerous dogs. Max barked once. And environmental hazards, aka my compost bin. My favorite moment? When she hired a landscaper to clean up the shoreline. The guy started trimming my trees. That's when I activated my trap. I had wired trail cams, mounted high all around the lake. Every intrusion was time-stamped. Every conversation recorded. I documented everything. But I didn't just want to stop them. I wanted to make them regret it. So I quietly contacted a land developer. Not just any firm. one that specialized in luxury eco-resorts. The pitch? A fully private legacy lakefront location with infrastructure, footage, and a clear legal case. The buyer was interested. All I had to do was let the HOA keep digging their own hole. While Karen was busy scheduling grand openings for a resort she didn't own, I was preparing the biggest land flip of my life. First, I met with a real estate legal team and gave them everything. The deed, drone footage, trail cam videos, HOA flyers, false legal letters, even a copy of Karen's easement map. They were stunned. This is an open and shut fraud case. Next, I filed an official cease and desist with the county, then presented my ownership documents to the zoning board. Construction was halted in 48 hours, but I didn't announce it. I let Karen stew. Then came the real move. I scheduled a private tour for the developer, complete with boat ride, panoramic views, drone shots, and my cabin serving as a rustic lodge model. They made an offer the next day. 9 figures. Billion-level development, once entitled, with me as a legacy stakeholder. But here's the twist. I sold it. Before the HOA knew they lost. I waited until the day of their big lakefront launch. They had banners, catered food, and champagne. Karen gave a speech in front of the half-built clubhouse. That's when my lawyer served her, publicly, in front of the whole HOA. A legal notice. Eviction from my land. Effective immediately. The fallout was instant. Karen went pale. People in lawn chairs started whispering. One guy dropped his wine cooler. A few board members quietly packed up. Then county deputies arrived. They cleared the area, marked the clubhouse as trespassing property. Turns out, Karen had used HOA funds for part of the improvements. Misuse of member dues. The board called an emergency vote and removed her that night. I posted footage of the HOA resort launch on my new website, along with a countdown to the actual groundbreaking of the luxury development. The headlines wrote themselves. Man sells lake for billions after HOA tries to steal it. HOA president evicted from resort she never owned. From cabin owner to tycoon, how a lake became a legacy. I used part of the sale to build a smarter, greener eco cabin on another property. Quiet, secluded, no HOAs in sight. And Karen? She moved out within 2 months. The HOA was sued by several members for misuse of funds. But the lake? The lake is now protected, privately stewarded, and soon to be the crown jewel of a new eco-resort for actual guests, not entitled neighbors. People ask me, how did you stay so calm while they tried to take your land? Simple. I had something more powerful than anger, proof, and patience. Karen thought proximity meant power, that just because she was near something, she had a right to it. But the truth is, entitlement without ownership is just noise. You don't get to bully your way into someone else's legacy. I didn't just protect my lake. I turned their greed into my greatest gain. So if someone ever tries to build on what's yours, let them. Document everything. Then build something even bigger, on their arrogance. What would you have done if an HOA tried to take your lake? Comment below. And if you stayed till the end, type Billionaire Justice in the comments. I'll be watching. And to Karen, wherever you are now, I hope your new view doesn't come with water access. Because this lake, it was mine then. And now it's untouchable. Like, comment, subscribe.